cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Alright, so, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
And good morning. I'm not going to be super loud. My morning's already been so exciting. Oh my gosh. So I've got to tell people this. Right? And I actually have the right shirt on and everything. The sheriff's department guy even commented on that's a great shirt, by the way. So this morning, we're all getting ready for the show and blah blah blah. Now we work in a locked-in plaza, right? Mm-hmm. That has 2 gates.
Yeah.
Literally on the gates it says no trespassing, no loitering, no riding bikes, no bicycling, no skateboarding, all that crap, right?
Yep.
So this morning, because it's Thanksgiving, everybody's out, everybody's being little snotheads. They were out there grinding, and the new landlord in this place has just put so much money in trying to make it look nice that, so I walk out the door immediately, and the first thing out of my mouth is, nope, and I'm like, get out, get. Oh, why, man? And I'm like, yep, I have turned into the angry old guy. So I'm like, get off the property, blah, blah, blah. Why? And I'm like, well, okay. I figured, if you're going to ask a question why, you must be smart enough to accept the answer. I'm like, because if you fall down and get hurt, your mom and dad will sue me. Get off, right? Get off. So next thing you know, I hear skateboards. Okay, now I'm in a boot. I'm going to show this. I'm in a boot. Yep, that's what I'm in. I'm in this thing for the next six weeks, maybe 8. After today, probably 8. So I go running out there, and now they're all filming me. I'm like, what are you filming for? It's private property. This is not somewhere you can just film when you want to film, so that don't mean anything. And I'm like, get out. And the guy's like, whoa, man, F you. And I'm like, really? So I start walking towards him, and he runs. Well, they get out there, I get out the gate, and one of the kids throws a rock at me. Good thing that they're Pasco kids because they're about as dumb as a rock, and they can't throw a rock, and he almost hit one of our neighbor's cars, right? So this moron has run across the street and left his bike there, and it ain't a cheap bike. So I grab his bike, and I lock the bike away. And then the other kid comes over there, and then he's riding a skateboard. He jumps off the skateboard and looks down to get a rock, and I go, oh, you got your skateboard now. So I walk back in there.
Not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
So the kid's bike that I took was not, he wasn't here. It was one that was his friend was riding it. So next thing you know, the sheriff shows up, which we were going to call the sheriff anyway.
Right.
Because I want to say, hey, look, I've got their property because they're trespassing.
Right.
And they're on private property. And they abandoned it.
Right.
Doesn't matter whether I'm running after them, they still abandoned it, right? So I locked it away.
Totally legit.
Totally legit. So, right, so the sheriff shows up, and they're like, did you call? I'm like, nope, but I was going to. I said, maybe the lady down there called. She goes, no, it's a guy. I'm like, well, maybe there's a guy in there now. So she comes out. I said, did you call? She goes, nope. Well, one of the kids called. Called 911, right? So he shows up and
to report themselves for trespassing.
I know I'm eating up my showtime here, but this is just funny as hell, right? And so the sheriff, if first the kid starts filming, I'm like, what are you filming me? Great, this is awesome. And then I went, oh, wait a minute, it's private property. Turn it off.
That's right.
Because it's illegal on private property to film. So anyway, because I'm doing this for my protection, and then when the sheriff goes, you've got 2 sheriffs here. I don't think that he's going to overpower us to come after you. So I'm
well, they don't know you very well, do they?
So we're going, the kid's getting he's just being a little asshole. So eventually they said, well, he goes, I want my stuff back. And I said, and I'll give it to them. And what they do with it after that, he goes, and then one sheriff goes, or deputy goes, here's the deal. You're trespassing. You're riding and you're doing things you're not supposed to. He goes, technically, I can take you out of here in handcuffs. He goes, well, it wasn't me. It was, well, blah, blah. He goes, it doesn't matter. You're here representing those, which means you're guilty as they are. He goes, you can go to jail right now for trespassing.
That's right.
He looked at me. I'm like, oh, I could press charges for trespassing? Oh, and the kid looked and went, oh crap. I said, here's what I really wanted. I wanted mom and dad to come down and say, I want my stuff.
Right.
So I can say to mom and dad, you need to keep your kids off here, or the next time they hear it, we will trespass them.
That's right.
And that's just the way it is. But anyway, that's been my
Good.
morning. Yes, I'm the
And-
angry old guy with the beard. So, and I have the best shirt on. It says, look me in the beard when I speak to you, or when I'm yelling at I'm talking to you. So I like it. So, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. I know
Yes.
today's not Thanksgiving, but it's going to be Thanksgiving this week. And yeah, we won't be here next week. So next Monday, we're giving everybody the weekend off. We'll be here later in the afternoon, but we just won't be
Well,
back.
we'll
in
all be
town.
prepping for Cyber Tuesday.
Exactly. So the first thing I want to talk about is Black Friday. So is Black Friday actually the best time to buy? Now, being that I have really been swayed over by Amazon and Walmart and Home Depot and Lowe's, all the online stuff, Cyber Tuesday winds up being a better deal for me than Black Friday.
Okay.
Because I don't have to fight crowds.
Well,
I know what I want.
yeah.
I'm not going to get trampled. And as I've already been price comparing stuff now that it's not as good a deal as you think.
Well, they've lost so many of their margins over the years by fighting all through the year against, the giant monopolies like, Walmart and Amazon, that there's almost nothing left to give unless you have loss leaders.
Right.
Specifically to bring people in the door.
And you know what the loss leader is?
What?
TVs.
TVs. Yeah, they're
The
huge loss
biggest
leaders right now.
loss leader there is.
Yep.
They will
Yep.
lose their shirts
Yeah.
on a TV first.
Yeah.
Because then they want you buying all the other stuff.
And that's the thing that I question now, because now with the new smart TVs, you don't buy anything else.
Nope.
You don't have to have the Dolby surround system. You don't have to have the VCR, the DVD player. You don't have to have all the extra accoutrements.
Well,
it
now
all
you don't
comes
have
built in.
And now you don't have to buy. You don't have to buy a Amazon Fire Stick. You don't have to buy a Roku. You don't have to buy a what's the other one out there?
The Apple TV.
No, Apple TV you have to buy. You can't download that. The Apple TV will not download it on a smart TV
Okay.
because there's a storage issue.
No, all right, I understand that.
Especially like
That's
on
cool.
some of the Apple TVs, like the one I have at
Yeah.
the house, I have the option to download it because it actually has a small hard drive.
Yeah.
Or do I keep it cloud-based? I just keep it cloud-based. That way I'm not having to worry about it. I can just switch back and forth.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Apple TV app, I
Go
have
anywhere,
not.
watch anything.
I have because I have a Amazon 4K stick. I have a Roku 4K stick or module. Actually, it's
Yeah.
more like the
Yeah, it's the
Apple
old
TV.
module, yeah. The puck.
And I cannot download the Apple TV to it.
No. That's the one thing that's missing.
Yeah, and which I
but
think it's
still,
smart for Apple.
but
Well,
still.
see, it's Apple. It's closed. But with the Apple TV, I can download the Amazon.
Right.
And I can download.
Yeah, you can download all the other things
Spectrum.
onto the Apple.
I can
but you can't
download
go the other way.
everything that we want. DirecTV,
Yep.
whatever. If there's an app out there for it, I can put on that 4K. And I love my Apple TV. Matter of fact, I just caught up on C last night.
Okay.
That's one of
Yep.
the new Apple TV
Yep.
programs.
So basically, it is one puck to rule them all.
Yeah, there is. But now, so your lost leader were the TVs. But now,
Yeah.
so now what they want you going there now? They're hoping that you're in there. Well, we'll either buy a drone or I'll buy a watch or
Right.
And now that Best Buy itself is selling. I didn't realize this until about 2-3 months ago. Now I just don't pay attention, but now I pay attention. They're selling washing machines and
Oh yeah.
refrigerators,
Yeah. They have a
vacuum
huge
cleaners.
home
So
section
they're
now.
really they're becoming. You know who they
Yeah.
kind of remind me of is. And you may remember this. Remember when Tiger Direct
Yes.
lost their stores?
Yes.
Well, in the beginning, Tiger Direct was strictly computers and blah blah
Right.
blah, and
Yeah.
and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Then at the very end, they started selling washing machines and
Oh, they
dryers
sold anything
and
they get on
refrigerators.
surplus and
I'm thinking to myself,
move it out the
wow.
door.
Now I need to see Best Buy doing the same thing. I'm like, oh, man, it's going to close Best Buy.
Actually, Best Buy's been doing the appliances for a long time.
Have they really?
Yeah. We've been looking at refrigerators and washing machines and all kinds of stuff
Well, I
for
know
years.
H.H. Gregg did that
years.
for a while.
Yeah, H.H. Gregg has it. No, but this Best Buy, like our local Best Buy, has had it for years.
Yep. So I just
yeah,
never
yeah,
really paid attention.
Yeah, you got to walk over to that side of the store to see it.
So yeah, now your
And,
loss
yeah.
leader. So your loss leader buy now is a TV.
Yep.
I saw one yesterday. It was at Sam's Club. I actually love Sam's Club. I don't know why.
Like 60-inch?
It was bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like $549.
Oh my God!
It's 4K.
Those used to be $5,000
$5,000
televisions.
I'm like $549. I said, "Oh, that's for the speaker system that went with it."
Right.
And then I walked over. It was for the freaking TV.
That's insane.
So I'm like going. Okay.
We have a home projection system, and I
Yeah.
really like that. It's like 90-inch. Okay.
But your best,
And-
but the problem with and I love projection.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is your best is 800 lines. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
You can't do 4K, or you can't do, and it's really not 1920 by 1080 because it's still only 800 lines of resolution.
Yeah.
Unless you get into the big
Right.
monster boys that cost $3,000-$4,000 or 10 grand.
Yeah,
So,
no. And, but for us and what we do, we like to watch movies.
That's it.
That's it. That's all we do. And we watch them in a movie environment. We don't have television
Really?
at our house. Yeah. Yeah. We actually disconnected cable in 2004.
Whoa.
Yeah, we've been 15 years now, having cut the umbilical, run everything on the internet. And yes, you could do stuff on the internet back in 2004. And then it was, it's just been all,
I was streaming video in 2004.
I bet you were. Way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And
People thought I was
so
nuts.
we just never put cable back in. Everything we do, if there's Philo if you want to watch something live TV. There's a lot of networks that subscribe on Philo. It's $20 a month, so it's cheaper than cable if you want to do that. If not, you can get almost every episode of any TV program you want to watch
so-
for $1.99, and it's available the day after it broadcasts.
Right. We did a cost analysis. One of our first shows for Tech Shaman, we actually did a cost analysis of cutting the cable today, not
Yeah.
back then, but today,
Yeah.
cutting the cable, but yet keeping what you're used to.
Yeah.
So and so the cost analysis didn't work.
Right.
It was just as expensive
Yep.
to go sign up for all the subscriptions that you have already
Oh,
by
absolutely.
paying one low price. So, but if you were looking to just declutter your life and just have basic something to watch, yeah, you can cut the cable and save
Yep.
thousands of
Well,
dollars.
I was paying $10 an hour for my cable. I worked it out to how much cable I was
$10
actually
an
watching,
hour?
and I was paying $10 an hour for cable.
waking hours, or was this 24-hour?
No, this was this was my eyes in front of the screen.
Okay, so-
I was paying $10 per hour to watch cable stuff.
Wow.
Most of my time was spent on the internet.
Right.
And I said, this is ridiculous. Why am I paying $10 an hour for this? It's not even that entertaining, and I can get it tomorrow for $1.99.
Right.
Why do it? So yeah,
The
it
only
worked out
thing that
better.
I had to have right now is I had to have news. Whether,
Which I get
which is-
online.
but I don't want to I don't want to see the day after. I want to see it right now.
No, and you can do that too. A lot of it streams. So yeah, things have really come a long way.
They have.
TVs are great.
And you don't need, you no longer need, like, it was one lady, we have a client that I'm working with her existing website trying to get it all cleaned up, and she big sports family.
Yeah.
They've got she showed me her TV room. It was like 8 televisions. I'm like, holy crap, and it's sports all day. She
Yeah.
goes, the only problem is I just don't want to pay Bright House or, I think it was Bright House, because it used to be the day you get Spectrum in or
Yeah.
Time Warner in, and it energized all the ports. You
Right.
need a box. Now you have to have a box for every single one. I said, no, you don't. I said, all you have is a smart TV.
Yeah.
Download the Spectrum app, have 1 or 2 big boxes,
Right.
and that's it. One DVR, and then one, gotta have one in the bedroom, and then put the sport. They have a smart TV that's got the Spectrum app on it.
Yeah.
She goes, you can do that. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Done. Yeah.
And so after that, I said, she goes, well, how much does that cost? I was like, I don't know. It depends on if you have smart TVs or not.
Yeah.
And she goes, half of them are. And I said, well, okay, so when the other ones burn out, go get
Replace them with
yourself
smart
a
TVs.
Roku TV. I saw a Roku. I saw a 50-inch Roku TV, and it was $210.
Wow.
4K, $210, right?
You know,
So
I honestly
And don't get me started on the 4K. I know people out there going, oh, I know what I've said about 4K. And I know I've said about 8K. 8K is just a waste of money because you can't see it. 4K is, you still can't see all of 4K, but you can. It does look prettier. It's just richer colors.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what we were.
No, honestly,
we wasted almost
I
10
have
minutes on
used
them.
I have used TVs instead of monitors for computers. The color's not quite right.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, in a pinch, if you got to replace something big,
We've done that.
it is, just slam
Rob
that
and I-
in there.
Rob and I went down to do a remote shoot, and I dropped
the monitor?
So he went to Walmart and got me an LG 32-inch
Yep.
for like $79.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
The only problem with those is you have to take the native resolution of the TV.
Yes.
And you lose. Now you have to monkey with it to get your bar to come up and to see all the framing.
Yes.
That's the only issue.
Yep.
But if you know that going into it, you'll be okay.
No, I have one monitor, and I use TVs as my second monitor on both my computers in my office.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So let's talk about SRO first, because we always
marketing.
seem to like throw Anthony at the end, and I'm going to start off. Well, we didn't start off with that, but so
Too late. Oh my God, I did it again.
Okay, so again, we have gotten
Yeah.
away from that word. I'm going to do a whole. You should do a PowerPoint. I know, heaven forbid.
Just because I look this old, it doesn't mean I feel this old.
I like PowerPoint.
Okay.
I still like PowerPoint.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
care.
I'm
We
a
need to do
Mac guy. We
I
don't
want to
do
do a
PowerPoint
slide thing when we
anyway.
put this up. So we don't call it SRO. I mean SEO, search engine optimization.
Well, no, there is SEO.
But that's
and we call
only
it
in the
SEO,
yeah,
SEO.
That's only in the beginning of the website,
Yeah.
or if you do a revamp to the website, or you add a new thing to your website, you got to go adjust that thing in the SEO. But SEO in itself should only be touched one time.
Yeah, search engine optimization is an inherent component in your website.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the content of your website. It is about making your website easily scannable and traceable and memorable to search engines. Most specifically Google, because that's the one everybody runs. So what you've got to have is when you first set it up, you optimize your website so that search engines can read it. That is search engine optimization.
Right.
Nobody using their website for business cares actually about SEO. And that's what's so funny. They think they do.
Yeah.
They think that's what's important because that's the buzzword they've heard. What they really care about, though, is the results. Is the results of your SEO. It is the results that you are seeing. It is the result page that
Right.
you are showing up on when someone searches for your keywords.
Henceforth, we use the word.
The phrase SRO, search result optimization.
Right, because that search result optimization goes in our world, and as far as I'm concerned, and my clients are concerned, is I don't know why he's still on you. That's okay. Is the fact that when you start boosting and you start pay-per-clicks and you start all that kind of stuff. Okay, first of all, the minute that happens, you're no longer organic, and I have a story talking about that. I'm going to give a story, perfect story. So that's pay-per-click. That's not organic, and that's not SEO. That is literally you're paying to play.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Yep. Pay to play.
Okay, it has nothing to do with your SEO.
Nope.
But if your SEO has been set up correctly,
SRO.
your SRO, which is what the results of your pay to play is, that's when that SRO becomes massively important. Correct?
I think I follow you.
Yeah. Because if you've set the SEO correctly, and then you go and start paying for all these boosts or pay to clicks and blah 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 and blah blah blah, you're using what has been set up in the SEO to drive people to your website. So if we're a Webeam TV, or actually let's take Tampa Bay Multimedia. We're a production studio, and my SEO should have been set up, and I hope it is, because we're literally going through all that right now.
Yes.
Because the person that set both my sites up did not do my SEO correctly. But if in my site I have to have the words in there, Tampa Bay TV production studios. So when I go out and I do the pay-per-clicks and the boosts and stuff like that, and these keywords that I want hitting. I want Tampa Bay TV production to be some of my SEO or some of my paid per click stuff. But if it's not sitting on my website, it's not going to get grabbed enough to go back to my website. I know I'm dumbing it down to the point where, but that's, I remember back in the day where my wife had a mortgage company. Well, my wife, she's a mortgage, we had a company back then, and we had this company called Liam that we used to do all our pay-per-clicks through. So every word that I was on, that I knew that I'd built into that SEO.
The keywords.
Is what I went to Lion and said, okay, these are the words these are the pay-per-clicks I want to hit. I would never spend money on mortgage because I would be paying like $10.15 a click.
Right, yeah.
That's just asinine. But the way I search term stuff is that people searching in for refinance my home in Pasco.
Right.
Then I had to put that in there so when it clicks through, or when people go search for that, phrases. they started finding. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and again, there's two ways to think about this. One is I have always instructed our clients that when you are setting up your concept for your business, you have to really look at what it is that you want to sell. I had one client, a couple hours from here, who had their previous web advisor had told them they really need to use these keywords. And I said, okay, give me the list of your keywords. And so she gave it to me in an Excel spreadsheet, and it included, get ready for this, 72,000 key phrases.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is nonsense. You cannot possibly, and they were sitting there trying to work 72,000 key phrases into their website.
That doesn't work.
No, it's insane.
That's like people,
7 is bad.
Right.
2 is probably better, but not 72,000.
And that's like these people on their. I go to these websites, and they still on the bottom of their page they have Clearwater, Dunedin, Tarpon Springs, Newport Richey, Port Richey, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
That, first of all, when Google sees that,
yeah.
They're like, you get hit for that.
The point
crap.
is, and what we told them is, like, stop. Tell me what you do for work. And if what you do is you help people refinance their homes in Pasco County, then refinance homes in Pasco County is something that we are going to put into your categories, okay, which is, again, part of your SEO when you're setting it up. And then you're going to use that phrase a lot when you are discussing things. And there are ways to make Google see it even better. And no, it is not to use bold print on it. It used to
make it pink.
It used to be,
or
make
blue.
It flash.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
We just saw a website last week that actually still had flashing text on it.
Okay.
I kid you not.
So one of the websites that I'm helping this lady redesign, her header is still flash.
Oh my God. Well, that's why we're helping.
Right. So anyway,
but
what
the
are you
key
gonna talk
is,
about? Yeah.
what we want to talk about is, as long as Google has been out there running search engines, running searches for people, there have been people trying to scam the system and trying to get things that aren't right. You're not doing mortgages in Pasco County, okay? You're selling cars to people in Pasco County, but you're scamming that system in order to get people to drive over to your site. And so, but there were ways of doing it. They found out that the Google algorithm would give people bonuses if there were backlinks. So suddenly they're building fake websites that have nothing but backlinks in them. So you get 10,000 backlinks. And then they find out that if the backlinks are coming from the New York Times or some big reputable source, that must be real. So then they figured out how to go into the comment section and throw the links in there in the comments section. Suddenly you have backlinks from the New York Times.
Right.
And so all this crap that just kept going on. And we said never, ever, ever do any of that. Because you may get a hit today, but Google is going to figure out that people are doing that. And then worse than going, oh, gee, I'll fall down in the rankings. No, you will be delisted completely in your rankings, and you won't be findable on the first 1,000 pages of a search with those terms. They will kill you for trying to game the system. So what we've told people is be you. And that is it. Be organic. Talk about what people want to know about. Talk about your customers. Talk about their questions. Talk about the answers you gave them on Saturday. And then you build, the way I always described it was like a gravity well. If you've ever seen the picture in physics where they're showing the space-time continuum, it's this big, black space with the white grid on it, and then you see a planet or something that sits down into it, or a sun, okay, and you see this like it's a big rubber sheet, and anything that goes in there is trapped around that. That's called a gravity well. And what you want to do is, once you have your SEO set up, you want to turn your website into a gravity well. You want as much content that is inside your website. I mean, like 2 years ago, Google announced, well, they didn't announce, but, because they never tell what's in their algorithm, but it came to light that they were giving internal links at least as much weight in their algorithm as external links. Because if you are continuously talking about a page that you have in your website that specifically refers to the right way to treat inflammation in the leg of a horse, and you're writing more blog posts later on, and you refer, oh yeah, and here's that one I wrote about, inflammation in the leg of a horse. The key words that you are using to link back to your own article in your website are as at least important as the ones that are coming from outside. Part of that was because people were gaming that system, but secondly, it was because Google actually realized that people who go to a gravity well designed website stay longer, where they find more things. They click within the website, and Google tracks all that. They know how long you're there, how many pages you went to when you were there. They know all these things. So your goal is to attract customers into your gravity well and give them the opportunity to engage and learn as much as possible. You're not going to do that if you trick them into coming to your website.
Yep.
You're not going to do that with, simple, lists of words at the bottom of the page.
Right.
That's not going to bring them in.
Nope.
What you need to do to bring them in is to be authentic, be organic. You mentioned that word earlier, and that means you created it, and the people who are there because they like what you did.
Right.
They like what you've written, they want to read it, they want to see it. Whatever the medium is that you're using, that's what they're there for. Video is a great way to improve your SRO on your website. Because if they come to your website and they have to, or they have the option of watching a video on your website, because it's embedded, that explains what it is that they're looking at, you've now scored a home run in Google terms.
Right.
Especially if it's a YouTube video, because now it's double whammy, because what's the second largest search engine? YouTube. So now you've got both of them registering you as an expert in that field and a place that people want to go. Because all Google cares about is sending people to the right answer.
Correct.
And so you have to be honest that you are the right answer, you have to give them the right answer, and you have to engage them so they stay reading or watching your right answer. That is how you win the SRO battle.
Yep.
That's how you move yourself up in the ranks, because you are the person that the searcher wants to find. Bam!
Boom, there you have it. So I had a former client. Unfortunately, they didn't move forward with us because they just can't. They don't want to pay, and I don't do for free anymore. Well, it's amazing how that works. You got to. I want to eat. Rob's tired of eating crackers and ramen. No, I'm just kidding. He hates ramen.
He's not tired of it?
No, he loves it.
Oh, okay.
That's what he does. He's a Navy boy. It's all good.
There you go.
So this guy was telling me he wants steak and taters, what he said. So this guy, was listening to these other guys that were telling him that that he didn't need us to produce a good video for him, that he could just do it on his own.
Of course.
And it'll do just as good. And he was telling me about all this. Oh, I had 700 organic phone calls, but yet these other two guys that this one guy brought were saying, well, yeah, what we'll do is we'll put you into a message call bank, and people will, we'll advertise a little bit. So I said, the minute he said advertising, I said, well, stop. The minute you're paying them
Right.
1 penny to help drive phone calls, you're no longer organic. Period. Organic means no boosts, no pay-per-clicks, nothing. It's just pure organic. So people are watching and go, oh my God, I'm going to call.
Right.
And then the guy goes, well, what are you doing for them? I said, I give them content. I don't advertise for them. I don't help anybody out. We have that service, but no one, we only have a few clients that want to pay for that, and I'm okay with that because it's a lot of work, right? But the minute you pay somebody to boost or to pay a pay-per-click, or if you're paying some guy to post it more places and you're paying that guy, that's no longer organic. Organic is a one-time run on the show, or it's being watched in replay.
Right.
That's organic. So, and that's what people's mentality is. Well, I can just do it myself. And I'm like, yeah. After I said, you may do good for the first couple of shows because people are like, oh, that's really great. But after a while, people stop wanting to look up your nose.
Yeah.
Or
the bad sound.
Or the bad sound. Or the crooked camera. Or the one single shot forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Oh, see? There you go.
Now, this is the contrast.
Because we don't have short attention spans. That myth has been broken because we will binge watch Netflix, we will binge watch Hulu, we will binge watch Disney Plus or Apple TV we'll binge watch that stuff for hours. Why? It's because it's good content.
I literally was watching. I searched for a video on how to, and there was an ad at the beginning. And I have to say, it broke all the rules because I sat there and it was an open the box on a product that was similar to what I was looking for.
But you watched the whole.
I watched 6 minutes and 15 seconds of an ad, and that's because of an ad. Labeled advertising. Didn't matter. Our viewing habits have changed. You have converted me on this because I argue the opposite. But our viewing habits have changed. But the key to success is that you have to have quality.
Yeah,
you have to have. Yeah, it's nobody's going to. People are looking for video as edutainment.
I'm going to give you a free. If you like just odd stuff, here's the best one. Crazy Russian Hacker.
Yes.
On Facebook and on YouTube. That freaking dude is phenomenal. I literally watched him open 6 products the other day, and it was a 35-minute video. I was in the bathroom. I wasn't in the bathroom 35 minutes, but I just continued watching. And I was stupid stuff like slime, an apple peeler, and I've always wanted to know those brushes you buy and put on your. I watched this. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, and now every time it comes up, I'm watching him all the time. So it all depends on, no, it doesn't depend on, it's a matter of fact, your video's got to be good.
Yeah.
So doing it yourself with a one camera shot, unless you're taking that, recording it, editing it, and throwing product pictures and stuff up like that, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to set it up with 2 cameras so that later on you can go in and edit it and do a shot revert, whatever it is you're going to do.
And so I flat out told the guy, I said, nobody in Tampa Bay will give you what we give you for the money that we charge you. We're not cheap, but we're not so expensive you can't afford us.
Right.
So we're a good deal. But anyway, that's not what. But the bottom line is organic is organic. And the minute you pay, it's not organic. But if you're doing the post correctly, all social media is to be used for one thing. That's drive them back to your website.
Exactly.
And if they're not, if your content's not driving people back to the website.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Facebook has changed their algorithm.
They change it weekly.
So that if your content in your Facebook post includes a link from your website that they have to go to, they view that as advertising.
Yes, they do.
And so they throttle their organic sharing of your material.
Right.
If you write a big portion of it, and this is, I'm going to let out a trick here, okay, and that is if you take a big chunk of what it is is in the article, okay, and you put that up, and you get people going, wow, this is really great, and then in your first comment underneath, you go, by the way, you can go read the rest of this here.
Exactly.
Okay? Now they'll read it as organic content that they own.
Write the content.
Yes.
Then put your website inside the comment.
in the comment.
And it does-
Okay,
and-
do
and-
not put it up in the.
So while
yeah.
we're speaking about Facebook,
Yes.
what a great segue that was.
There was a
You know,
segue?
Facebook is developing a new feature for Messenger, which to me is like Google Circles. Which what it does, it let you share content to a limited circle of close friends. How about that?
Rather than starting a group with your close friends for that specific content, you can share it via Messenger.
Yeah. So here's what I find. This is nothing new,
No.
but to them it's new.
It's like
for
starting a group of just
Tech
your close
Shamans,
friends.
We have a group, so that way we share stuff, right? Nerd Talk, we have a group, so we share what we're going to talk about on the show and blah, blah, blah. I do this through,
Yeah.
I also do this through texting as well. I just set a group up, and this group is for us to go, okay, matter of fact, on Thursdays, we do a roll call for Nerd Talk
Okay.
because we have so many different hosts that we want to know who's going to be and what they're talking about.
Right.
Uh-oh. I know that didn't help. I know that did not help. My mute buttons on this pack is not working right. So, but that's what they're going to do. I mean, to me, I'm like, why are you doing something that we can already do inside of Facebook? It doesn't make any sense to me. But it's Facebook. Yay, Facebook, right?
They'll create a new option for people to do it more easily.
Right.
But then you have to go through and label which people are your close friends.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Or will their algorithm decide who your close friends are?
That might happen.
And that would be scary.
Yeah, we will. It is
Because,
scary.
yeah.
we were on our way. We were on our way to Clearwater. Me and my son the other day, and we were talking about a piece of equipment. And then he opened his phone up, and before he could get to Google, an ad dropped down of what we were talking about. I mean, normally that happens in a couple of days or something like that. Literally. I told him, I said, why don't you go, do me a favor, do a quick search on this and blah, blah, blah. He opened his phone up, unlocked the phone, and then there was a drop-down message about the very product we were talking about.
That's not scary.
Not at all.
No. I mean, but these people can be completely trusted with this data. There's no way that this data can ever be accessed by anybody.
Other than a hacker from Wired had reported a 1.2 billion records found exposed online in a single server.
Except for that. Except for that,
you're
you're completely safe. Nobody will ever know.
There was a jumbo data leak complete with Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn profiles.
It had all the profiles. It had home addresses. It had everything except your social security number and the passwords.
Right.
What it had was basically all of the answers to all of the identity questions that someone may ask you on the phone when you're calling to say, hi, I lost my password, and here's every bit of information. Here's where I've lived for the last 5 years. The interesting thing is they found the source of it.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, the kid that found it his name was Vinny Triola.
Yeah.
And it was on the dark web, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
still the web.
It's still the web. But they found the source is this company that aggregates all this information and then sells it, which is actually no more comforting. That, okay, so you could get it for free on the dark web. It looks like somebody, because you could become a client of this company and you could download like 1,000 records, okay, with a free membership in a week.
Yep.
And so you just set up a bot to create 1,000 profiles, and now you've got 1 billion records that you've downloaded. But then they've augmented it in this particular file. They started cross-referencing with other databases. And so they added in more and more and more information to make this super database. But the fact of the matter is, most of these records, the company in question brags that they have 1.4 billion records, and this has 1.2 billion in it.
Yep.
I think about 1 billion were, it's the majority of Americans were in this database already. And that is
Well,
that's
the
kind of
good thing
scary.
is, the article said it didn't have passwords, credit
No.
cards, or social comment, but it does contain all your profiles like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn,
Exactly.
GitHub, I think is what it was.
GitHub.
But here's the thing is, if I've got your address, phone number, and some security questions, I can hack everything else that you've got.
Exactly. That's the point. So yeah, there's almost too much data being kept and scanned. I saw something this morning about the guy who invented the internet. He has come out advocating for a new, almost like Bill of Rights, okay, that has to be attached.
Yep.
A new user agreement for the internet that makes the internet a much more responsible, private place for individual humans rather than a Wild West for corporate sponsors
Right.
and data hacks.
Well,
So that'll be nice if that plays out.
There you have it. There you have it. So, so as of right now, in my personal opinion, there is no, everybody's information's out there.
Yeah. Yep.
So just you just got to, as of right now, you just got to act like I've been hacked.
What do you think about, I'm speaking of data being out there. Of course, there's government data out there as well. What do you think about the battle between Amazon and Microsoft right now over the Pentagon contract? And the lawsuit
And it's
that
against-
Amazon
wait a
has
minute.
filed.
Wait a minute. Amazon and who?
Microsoft.
Microsoft? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft already has all your information anyway.
Yeah, but there's a major lawsuit going on right now.
I didn't know
that
anything about
Amazon just filed a lawsuit complaining that the decision was biased, and you know, because Trump doesn't like Jeff Bezos, and so that's why they didn't get the contract. And
Oh, please.
as we dig in, we find out that the people who actually make the contract decision are anonymous and unavailable for pressuring, and
Right.
went straight point by point over the quotes. And Microsoft beat them in a fair fight. But of course, Amazon isn't accepting that, and they're throwing all their massive legal
that's-
weight behind it
and-
to sue the American people.
I try not to get political on this show. But
Yeah.
This is just coming from the same place as when you don't get your way.
Yeah.
You fall down the floor, kicking and screaming, and yell really, really loud until
Yes.
everybody goes, well, let's just shut him up and do something.
Yep.
You lost, you lost,
It
you lost.
looks like a temper tantrum.
It is what it is. Get over it. You know, first of all, Microsoft. Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Microsoft and here's Amazon. Amazon's hoarded itself out to sell all the shit in the world that you can buy. Period. So it doesn't really care.
Including server space.
It doesn't even care. They don't even care if your shit's good or not. They'll sell it.
Nope.
I mean, there's no quality control.
No.
Absolutely none.
If
right?
it is good and it does sell, then they will, steal your manufacturer and
So
sell it
then there's
themselves.
Microsoft, purely business for the most part.
Yep.
I mean, they've gotten they're in the entertainment world a little bit, right?
Little bit.
A little bit. But they've always been true to their brand, which is kind of cool. Have they been hacked? Yes. Have they lost data? Yeah. Can they not make an operating system worth a damn? Yeah, pretty much. But it is what it is. I mean, they're for the most part, they're trying to be that straight and narrow company, type of deal.
Yep.
So if I didn't know who they were and I didn't know who this was, and I'm looking for tit for tat and whole 9 yards, and they come out better, well, can they come out better? Amazon's not proving to me that they're not secure and they're not looking out for my best interest. They just want my money.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't use Amazon. I use Amazon all the time. But
Most of us do. We
But
don't
you've
have a
got to know
choice.
what you're getting yourself into. With Microsoft, going if someone said, "I want you to be," because Microsoft's owner, Bill Gates,
Bill Gates.
is now back to being one of the richest guys in the world over Amazon. So he's not.
Well, that's because Bezos lost half in the
half of
divorce.
money, yeah, well.
So,
Well, just take that away.
Yeah.
He's still, Bill Gates
Yeah.
still worth more right now. So, I don't know. I think, from a security standpoint, yeah, I think I'd feel a little bit better with Microsoft than I would Amazon.
yeah.
Just saying, And it's nothing against Bezos.
Amazon
I don't
has a
hate
huge
it.
target painted on it,
Yeah.
Of course, Microsoft does too.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody wants to take out, the
Well,
big guy.
it's amazing.
But
in the beginning, Mac. I'm a Mac user. I mean, we use PCs in the studio because they do things that Macs just don't do. And I know that's weird saying that, but it's the truth. You know,
There are
Mac.
they each have their strengths.
If you could build me a Mac system that could take an 8-camera input or a 16-camera input and it would work, I'd use it all day long without going into boot camp. I mean, Mac itself, true Mac, not running an emulator.
Right.
And PCs will do that. That's how we switch our video. We build these switchers because they're based on an Intel PC platform.
Yep.
Mac just does not do that. But you know, Microsoft's it is what he's been true to his name.
No, Gates.
Solid. It's a solid.
Of all things, he's been as consistent in what he does as Apple is in what it does.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, you wouldn't. People, it's amazing. When I first started using Mac, and because I came from that PC world, jumped over to Mac world. The first thing I said was like, okay, do I need virus connection? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody's. There's a lot of respect for Mac. Nobody tries to hack that. Everybody's trying to take down Bill Gates, not Apple. First of all, it's hard to hack an Apple.
Yeah, it is
because of the way. Well, it used
not
to
impossible,
be.
but
it used to be. It used to be super hard because they weren't an Intel based product.
Mm-hmm.
They were a Linux / can't think of the name.
Huh? What are you looking for?
The operating system.
iOS.
Yeah, but before it was iOS, it was
okay.
It was Linux.
Okay.
Linux. It was basically Linux.
Where's Adam when you need him?
Right. I know. And PC has always been Intel, Microsoft, whatever.
Right.
It's always
DOS. It's just DOS based.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why So in the beginning, Bill Gates has always had a big target on him. Just if we could take down Microsoft, we'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be the hacker's dream to just cripple Microsoft.
Right. So that's where that's at, and I thought that was a pretty interesting piece. That even the biggest bad boys are out there, throwing temper tantrums when they don't get their way.
And talk about someone that didn't throw a temper tantrum.
No, he threw a steel ball.
Well, yeah, but he was just, but I mean, if you look at okay, so we're going to talk about Elon Musk, and we're going to explain why Tesla's Cybertruck window smashed during presentation. There's all of these, there's all of these different type of scenarios, and they tried to explain away, like, when the guy was hitting the truck with a sledgehammer, he hit the bottom of it. Well, first of all, integrity is integrity is integrity.
Yes.
So if I can hit the bottom corner of the glass and make it weak, it's still weak.
Yes.
Weak is weak, right? Because granted, when they were throwing the steel ball, the window was supposed to be rated for a 9mm bullet.
Yep.
Okay. When it didn't say it was rated for a
handheld
for a cannonball,
and it's not a cannonball. I mean, it's like the size of a handball, okay, and that is nowhere near as much force as a 9mm bullet, okay, which is much tinier, traveling much faster.
Well,
force, because mass times acceleration.
If they'd have thrown that steel ball in there and it's spider webbed,
right,
I'd have been impressed.
Which it kind of does. Okay, the ball did not go through, but there is a large chunk missing from the middle of one of them.
So
there's no way
a bullet would
that
have
is
gone
going
through
to.
that
Yes,
your
it stopped the ball. But I'm sorry. Can you line up any other car in America that comes off the showroom floor with a bulletproof window?
Nope.
No. The point is, this is made for farm work, and this is what I thought, because I was having a discussion about it, and somebody on his line like, no, I'm not going to buy something like that for my farm. It'll get dented, it'll get dinged. I'm like, you clearly did not watch the demo where the guy hit the body with the sledgehammer.
First
now,
of all, if you've got that kind of money,
farm truck,
if you got that kind of money to buy one of those for the farm, you're a millionaire.
One of those?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
They cost less than the Dodge that we have.
Really?
Yes.
See, I didn't pay attention.
Dude.
The minute you say electric, I'm like, oh, I can pull something for 40 feet and I'm done.
Yeah, and this is not what this is. This has 500-mile range, and you're talking about a 14,000-pound towing capacity, which is plenty big enough for any farm. My issue was, when you look at the back end of that thing, is that actually going to work with a gooseneck trailer, which a lot of people have their pickup trucks for, especially up here, because we have horse country and we have horses. And so there are things you got to do with the back.
Is that 500 miles with while towing?
Probably not while towing,
So
but just
250 miles while
regular,
towing.
maybe 250,
And
300
how long
while
does it
towing.
take to charge it up? Did they say?
Nah, I didn't get into those details
Yeah.
because I have been waiting since he announced it a year ago, 2
Right.
years ago, what the hell the towing capacity was going to be.
It looks cool.
It looks different. I maintain
It's ugly. Well, I think Rob uses that phrase this morning. It's ugly cool.
it's ugly cool. Yeah,
we were watching some other ones.
And as long as you push that, because it's like Musk actually said that he was inspired somewhat by the vehicles from Blade Runner. I personally disagree. I think what it was is they brought him this design, and then he went out to see what it looked like, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's the taxis from Blade Runner."
Right.
Okay, look. Yeah, so I think he actually has it backwards. But when you look at it, you realize it's a bunch of flat planes. And if you're making it out of stainless steel,
Do you really think that'd hold that?
do I really think what?
Those steel plates would hold that?
That
Oh,
is-
did it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it drove right up it.
See, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah,
the minute
it's-
you say electric, I'm like, blah,
Well,
blah,
look,
blah,
it's,
blah, blah,
it's
blah,
corrugated. Okay, that gives it amazing resilience. Okay, to have those things corrugated and then interlocked.
Right.
So there's a lot of excellent engineering, and I think in order to make it cost effective, they're using flat, straight plates.
Yeah.
Because you're not shaping the steel, you're just welding the steel.
Right, right.
And that means you can get in at an intro at 39 grand. Or their high end is 69 grand. And
What's
honestly,
the difference between the high and low end?
7,500 towing capacity and 1 electric motor, and 14,000 pound towing capacity with 3 electric motors.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so that's basically your thresholds as you move through it.
But you gotta love the fact that he didn't lose his crap.
No.
It's like, meh, whatever. It didn't go as planned. We're just move
Yeah,
on. But
didn't go
hey,
as
buy
planned.
one anyway, and they did. What was the I have it here.
200,000 pre-orders.
200,000 pre-orders.
Yep, 200,000 pre-orders at $100 a piece. Okay, they've had $2 billion in revenue generated by this announcement without a
Wow.
single. And this is all 100% organic marketing.
Yeah.
Tesla has never bought an ad for anything. Tesla has always run
You
with
could
just
almost
press
talk
releases
me. You could
and
almost talk me into
conversation.
getting one. Almost. Except
Yeah.
it's just the range thing.
Well, and the range isn't bad as long as you're not pulling a trailer. And how far do you usually pull a trailer? And how long does it take to recharge?
Yeah.
I happen to like the idea of the solar vehicles that are really designed for urban use, because what it is you have a 40-mile ability to charge in a day.
Right.
But what they've done is they have put 1,000 miles worth of battery in them.
Okay, so here it is. 250 miles is all you're going to get for $39,000. 40
Okay.
grand.
All right, that's a small one. Okay.
The dual motor all-wheel 300 miles, that's 49,000.
Yep.
And the all-wheel drive with 500 mile range is $70,000.
Yeah. Yep. 42% of the pre-orders were for the dual motor. Yep. So it is an idea whose time has finally come.
Right.
The body style, I had one of my friends online. Jason is awesome. He's also a comedian. Because people are like, oh my God, I couldn't drive that. Look at that. He goes, oh gee, this is amazing. You're talking about doing something really good for the planet, but you're not going to do it because you don't like what it looks like. That's like saying, gee, I'm going to be a vegetarian, but I just love the way steak plates, so I'm going to keep eating it because it looks pretty on my dining room table.
See, I'm just honest. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just be honest. And
I don't mind being ugly. You know what? When the Hummer came out, everybody said that was ugly.
It was.
Everybody
it still
said
is
it was
ugly.
ugly as
Still is
sin.
ugly, but I drive it, by God.
Yeah.
I
but
told
there
lady
you
the
go.
other night if I wasn't driving this vehicle, the earth wouldn't spin fast enough.
Who bought the first commercially or the consumer available Hummer?
Schwarzenegger.
Yep. Schwarzenegger, because it was big
But he bought
and it
the
was
H1.
ugly. Yeah.
Not the H2.
No,
or
the
H3, the
no.
H1.
The first one that came out, the first one was
Actually,
available to consumers, was at H1.
He bought the Hummer
Yeah.
than the H1.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Hummer, H1,
Yes.
H2, H3.
Yeah, he bought the first Hummer that
My
came
wife
off the
drives an
assembly
H3
line.
and I drive an H2.
Yep.
And people go ask me, why do you drive that? So someone's got to keep the earth spinning. Just saying. The faster I go, the little
faster
less
the
the
earth spins
load, the
underneath
little
it.
less load she has to handle. So, but I love my Hummer. But anyway,
And I drive a Prius, so
and
there
she
you go.
I could put his car in the back of my car.
I could actually put his car in the back of my car. You'd be amazed how much stuff I could fit in the back of that Prius.
Really?
Sort of. I'd have to melt it down,
You have to, yeah, I was gonna
and then
say,
it would still be an issue. But I'd work it out.
It's like going looking for Beskar metal.
I actually call it my pre-artist. Okay, it's bigger on the inside.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's a turtis.
pre-artist.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So okay, let's. You know, we only got 2 minutes left here.
We're going to talk about headphones.
Headphones. All right, let's talk
Wait,
about
hit the headphones.
But we're going to talk about headphones.
Yeah.
It's TVs. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Now, these are over-the-ear headphones, right?
Yep.
These are all typically these. This is the best. I don't believe in Black Friday, but you can probably find these on the line at the same price. All these headphones I'm going to talk about are typically in about the $350 range. So the Sony WH-1000X M3 is for $278. Now I love Sony products.
Yeah.
I'm a Sony guy. Or Sennheiser, two of the best headphones you'll ever get a hold of.
Okay.
All right, so really super good, really super comfortable. Then they also got the Jabra Elite, which I do not like Jabra.
Okay. Why not?
Because every one I've ever had, it's just been a piece of junk.
Okay.
And that includes for headsets, for phones. And
I'm the
whole
same
nine
way
yards.
with HP computers. So go
Okay,
ahead.
so there you go. So
Yep.
so Beats Studio 3, they're going to go for $199.
Wow. Yeah, they're down from $349 to
From
$199.
No, from $350.
Yeah, $349 to $199.
Yeah, I don't do the
Yeah.
49. It's
yeah,
$350.
well, still, it's
For $199,
off.
I'm not a big Beats guy because I have a pair of Beats and
Yeah.
they weren't that great. Now the Sennheiser PXC 5500, so $199 down from $350. That, that's the one I would get.
That is, again, $150 off.
Love
that
Sennheiser.
is phenomenal.
Sennheiser's over the headphones are probably some of the best you're going to get. Anyway, with that being said, you guys have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey, get a lot of sleep, go have some fun.
If you're vegetarian, eat a lot of tofurkey.
Celery, hey.
I hate celery.
Anyway, if you have any questions or any topics you want us to cover, text Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. I am Boss Tech, or John Gaston. This is Anthony Sakovich.
Correct.
We've never given you we need a nickname for him. There was some nicknames in there. We'll see what we
Oh,
got.
that's going to be scary. All right, that's fine.
You can't pick your own nickname. That's the way it works. I didn't pick Boss Tech. Anyway, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Take care,
We'll
everybody.
see you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.